Hi guys, here's another segment of Sika's Truth, and I am excited to come your way again. It's been a while, and I promise I'm going to be consistent from henceforth. So please, when you see this video, kindly subscribe and share this video. Now today I'm talking about ulcers, peptic ulcer, my experience with ulcers, and I'm going to categorize it into three parts. The first part of ulcers, the second part of ulcer, the third part of ulcer. Now I think ulcers are not talked about enough, or the awareness is not much. Like, the awareness is, for me, it's not too strong. Yeah, but it is very dangerous, and it could be fatal. So now, what is ulcer, or what causes an ulcer? So ulcer occurs when the stomach acid damages the lining of the digestive tract. That is what causes ulcers. Now, let me give a caution here. I am doing this video not as a professional nurse or a doctor, but I am doing this as my own experience with ulcer. Yeah, and this is the truth. I speak about my truth, things I have seen, things that has happened to me personally, and things that I know that they are true. Yeah, so welcome to Sika's Truth, and today we are discussing ulcers. Now, what are some of the causes of ulcer? For me, with my experience, how I got ulcer is because I wasn't eating properly. I was skipping breakfast. Yeah, it's the first time I had experienced it was about a decade ago, when I didn't understand what was going on. Like, when I eat something, then I begin to feel this sharp stomach pain, and even when I drink water. So I was like, what is wrong with me? Now, a decade ago, I was actually struggling. I was really struggling financially and all that. So the reason why I was skipping breakfast is because I was struggling financially, and a whole lot was happening. So I was skipping breakfast, and I'll eat lunch and supper, or sometimes just lunch, or sometimes just supper, just to survive. Yes, not all of us were born with silver spoons in our mouth. So yeah, that was how come I got ulcer. Now I can't remember vividly if I had gone to the hospital or something. When I told people about it, they were like, oh, this is ulcer, do this, do that. Like, so then I began to eat rice. I started eating breakfast and all of that. Then I managed these things till things began to look a bit better. Things began to be better for me small, and I began to eat. And I think during that time I started treating it and being careful. I read about it, and the symptoms and everything was true. Now let's talk about the first stage, or how you know you have ulcer. The first stage. Now the first stage is when you start having severe pain when you eat anything, whether spicy or not. That was my experience. People were like, oh, don't eat spicy food. But when I even eat, let's say when I even take in tea, I would still feel the sharp stomach pain, and I would immediately, let's say about 3 or 4 minutes, I feel like eating myself, and it will be very painful. Sometimes there will be blood in my stool. It will be the pain will just be uneasy, right? You can't really pull. I don't know, like, it's so uncomfortable and very painful. Like, ulcers, the first phase you may think is the worst, but let me shock you with the second phase, which will come in a bit. So with that, whatever you eat, you begin to feel pain until you begin to treat it, then it will get better. Now, what I have realized with ulcer or peptic ulcer is they do not go right away. Like, it may never go. It's a sore in your stomach, in the lining of your stomach. So what happens is that the medicines they give us may control the sore in our stomach, but they may never go away again. So you need to manage it. So excessive fasting is not good for you. In fact, any form of fasting, if you know you have ulcer, those of us who follow about 5 to 10 pastors, or let me say 5 pastors on online, including our pastor in church. This one says fast for 3 days, you are fasting for 3 days, you are in. Another one says fast for 2 days, you are in. You are always fasting, you will die. you would, I won't sugarcoat it, you will die if you don't stop this unnecessary fast. You will die. You need to eat, especially you don't have to speak your breakfast. I'm not a breakfast person, I still hate it, but with what happened to me about 3 weeks ago, I take breakfast now. So yeah, that was the first phase of my ulcer journey, and I began to eat, and after some time the pain went or subsided. Even at a point I even fasted. We were having a 1 month fast. I joined the fast the whole month. I didn't see the symptoms and all of that. I was like, oh, the ulcer is gone, until I started doing this habit again. Now, by the grace of God, I'm okay. I'm not where I wish to be yet, but God has been faithful. So that means I can, buy myself breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But because I have not been taking breakfast for a very long time, I have been skipping breakfast again. Yeah. So the second stage of ulcer, the first stage of ulcer is when when whatever you eat, you feel pain. You have this. Sometimes you may even you may even vomit, bloody stool and all that. That is the first stage of ulcer. Yeah. Now the second phase of ulcer doesn't look like ulcer at all. So this is what happened. For, let's say, in the whole of June, the whole of the month of June, I have been feeling very, very funny, extremely tired. I already have a condition. Maybe I'll come and talk about it later. But I was feeling very, very tired and uneasy. I didn't understand what was going on with me. Then constant headache. To be sincere, the headache started around February. I didn't understand. The headache was so much. Then, this is the second stage of ulcer I'm talking about. So the second stage. Then what happened was an ear infection. A severe ear infection. Like, my head was banging. The pain was constant. Like, there was nothing I could do that could ease the pain. Even when I go to sleep and I wake up, the pain was constant. So I went to the ear clinic, ENT, and they checked it, and they were like, there were, stuff in my ears and all that. So they gave me medications, and I came home and I was applying it. I didn't even know it was ulcer. So still, I was skipping breakfast. Then when I was taking the medicine, I was taking breakfast because I had to take you have to eat before taking the medicines. Yeah. But I think since February, I haven't been myself, especially with my ears. Unfortunately, I didn't take any pictures or videos. I'm just trying to show you the symptoms of ulcer. Yeah. So I began to apply all these medicines, and then the headache went finally. The pain in the ear went, but there was this residue that was coming out of my ear, like as though like you when you have a what do you call it, a cyst, and then when you squeeze it, that the whatever the I don't know what, I've forgotten what it's called. You see the thing that comes out of it. So yeah, it has been there. My ear would be itchy, like I could feel that there's some pus, or I don't know if that's what it's called. Please pardon me. English is not my mother tongue. So I have been removing it. I'll go to the hospital to wash it. Like, I've gone there to wash my ears countless times, but there'll be something in there. So, and I live with a nurse, so the nurse will tell, don't be putting things in your ears. It's so uncomfortable and so itchy. And there was sore in my ears. So sometimes when I use the earbud, there'll be, sore. I could see blood, and then the whitish substance every time it was there. Now you see the ear wax is normally brownish and something like that, but this one was not brownish. Instead, it was whitish, and it was coming out every now and then. Sometimes I'll just put something and I'll remove stuff. The smell was not really, really bad, but at the same time it was not really, really nice at all. It's I don't know how to explain. It was just like a pimple, like a squishy pimple, watery pimple. Yeah, so that was how it began with headache, like the migraines. I don't know how to explain it. It would come and it would go, it would come and it would go. until this is the second stage of ulcer. It didn't even feel like ulcer. Then I in the month of June, I began to feel really funny. The headache came back. There was still pus in my ears. I was tired of going to the ENT. And then I began to feel sick, headache, feverish. The whole symptoms was more or less like malaria, but most importantly, tiredness and shortness of breath and pain. I feel this, severe pain when I breathe. Like I was like, hey, what is happening to me? Am I about to die or something? So that was how it happened. It became severe on a Saturday. Let me say around the 16th or 17th. Yeah, 16th. It became a bit severe. I couldn't go to church. And then on 17th, which was on a Monday, I was home. I was like, no, this thing, I have to go to the hospital. In fact, I had wanted to go to the pharmacy, but in Africa or in Ghana, you could go to the pharmacy, to buy medicines to treat yourself. But sometimes when you don't have the correct diagnosis, they may give you the wrong medication, right? So that was how I went to the hospital. So I had to run a check. In fact, there was a gruesome experience I had when I went to this hospital. So I'm going to be making a video after this video, because hospitals is the government hospitals. So I did a test and I was told I had ulcer, and they gave me medications and I came to take it, and then I'm feeling better now. But the second stage of ulcer doesn't look like ulcer. So what happened to me, like the onset, it started with ear infection and then headache, constant headache. And the third thing was pain, shortness of breath. Like if I needed to turn myself from one side of the bed to the other, after turning, I'll breathe heavily for like 2 minutes, and it was painful. That was what was happening to me, and I had this severe pain on the right side of my body, coupled with fever. I was feverish, I was feverish. So you see, the second symptoms didn't look like ulcer at all. I didn't even feel, because if I had the stomach pain and all of that, I would have known that definitely that was the ulcer, but that wasn't the this one didn't seem like the ulcer. So this is the second phase of ulcer. If you are not very, very careful, and if you don't go to the hospital for proper diagnosis, you may feel that it is malaria, because the symptoms is very, very similar with malaria, and you may end up hurting yourself or doing damages to yourself. Now, let's talk about the third symptom. The third symptom is, I haven't experienced it before, but I was once watching TV or a documentary on TV3, which is a station in Ghana, where a man had ulcer and he had become lean, like an HIV patient. Now they had to do a surgery on him. So the highest damage ulcers can do to you is it could break you, and it will make you very, very slim. It can become so serious. You may need surgery to correct your stomach tissue. So you need to be really, really careful, because ulcers could be deadly. It can be deadly, and it doesn't normally, the second phase and the third phase doesn't look like ulcer at all. So after the medication, I won't be mentioning any medication here, but when you go to the hospital, they'll give you the proper medications. But I would also want you to know that you need to take your time when you are treating ulcer. It's a slow pace. It's not like malaria, where after 3 days you begin to feel some improvement. No, with ulcer, it will take, you have to take your time. Your healing it's not like fast. It is gradual. It is gradual. So you need to take your time, and you need to be patient enough to heal. Secondly, any form of fasting would have to cease for the meantime. Any form of fasting would have to cease for the meantime. At least you can take your breakfast. I'm always grateful to my Archbishop Charles Atinasari. He would say that there are types of fast. So you can take your breakfast, skip lunch as fast, and have your dinner. But when you're in your medication era, And let me say, for the next 3 months, anything fast shouldn't be part of your priority at the moment. Your priority now is to heal, and heal completely. So eat. The reason why I wasn't even taking food was I felt my tummy was bloating, and when I ate, my tummy bloat. It is normal. When you eat, something is inside your tummy, so it is going to bloat. It won't look flat. Please, let's not follow people on the internet who have flat tummy. Some of them have actually sculptured their body. Others too is nature. The fact that your tummy will bloat doesn't mean you shouldn't eat. You are killing yourself. And the more you do not eat, you skip breakfast, the more your tummy becomes worse. That's what I have realized, that the more I skipped the breakfast, the more my tummy became worse. So there are other factors that could cause ulcers. So there are other factors are, taking very, very strong medications. So yeah, it's not everyone who skips breakfast that is at risk of ulcers, but there are people, when they are given very, very strong medications, can cause ulcer. So you need to be very careful. But I think before you eat, you take medication, you should eat something. Sometimes some people, they are on medications, and when they meet their medication, they're like, let me take it, and then they won't eat anything, and they will take the medicines on an empty stomach. It could cause ulcer, and it's not funny. Yeah, I'm here speaking, but it's not a funny experience. It's not something I would want anybody to experience. The experience is really, really sour. It's really, really painful, really, really disturbing, and you could lose your life. Like, I didn't know ulcer could make you breathless. You could not even breathe. It's like you are between death and life. It's a really, really scary ailment to go through. So you need to manage it. You need to be very, very careful. Those of you who like skipping breakfast, it's high time you start taking your breakfast. If you want to lose weight, you begin to exercise little by little. You would get there. So this is my little contribution about ulcer. If you really know more, or if you are a health expert and you can explain more to us, please do in the comment section. Kindly like this video, share to someone who has been joking with their lives to watch this video and see the severity of ulcers and the dangers it may cause. So if you don't take care of yourself, begin to take care of yourself. Eat healthy, take your breakfast. Your breakfast is the most important meal of the day. In fact, you can decide to skip lunch and dinner. Sorry, but breakfast is very, very important, and you need to take it. If you have watched this video to the end, it means you really, really like me. It's not because of my plenty or child talk. It's because you really, really like me. And thank you for watching this video till the end. I love you so much. And till next time I come your way with an exciting video, please subscribe, share this video, and tell a friend. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.